Every business organization has some sort of formal mechanism for handling their security threats. These formal mechanisms are referred to as security structures. In this video, we're going to be engaging on security risk management program, a security structure that adopts a proactive approach towards managing organizational security threats. Welcome to Security Nuggets Podcast, a professional channel that unpacks security risk insights and perspectives for continuous learning purpose. I'm Ashley, a security risk consultant, and I'm honored to be hosting you in this discussion and very glad that you're joining in. And without wasting any time, let's dive right into it. This discussion is an introduction to a video sequel that is going to be ongoing, focusing on the subject matter of security risk management. And I'm hoping that you are going to stick around until we are done with the sequel discussions so that you can have a better understanding and you can better assimilate what security risk management program is all about and how you can apply this in your organizations, okay? Now, I would like us to get started by going through some of the three main security structures that we find in most business organizations. One of it is the packaged security structure. This structure consists of standard security systems that don't necessarily follow any specific threat. In this sort of structure, you are bound to find the most common baseline security measures. The second structure is the one-dimensional structure. This structure relies on a single deterrent, which can be in form of security guards or an insurance cover. The third structure is the reactive structure. In this structure, organizations add security systems upon a need basis after there is a loss incident or a loss event. All right, so after every loss incident, that is when the organization implements security measures to avoid the loss from recurring again. Okay, so it's very reactive in its approach, okay? Now, there are a lot of factors that influence the formation of the different security structures that we find in business organizations. Now, for context purpose, and to help you understand our topic today, I want to highlight a few examples of some of the factors that influence the formation of some of the security structures that we are finding in business organizations. One of the factors is financial position. Does the organization have sufficient finances to allocate a security budget? The other factor is the operating environment, where the business is operating at. How is that environment? All right. Is the environment exposed to high risks? Is the environment volatile? Is it hostile? Because if a business is operating within a high-risk environment, that means that it will have to invest in security systems. The other example is the regulatory standards and compliance standards. If the security regulations in place within your area of operation require you to adhere and to comply to certain specific security regulations and standards, then an organization will find itself implementing security systems that align with those regulations and standards. The other factor that influences the formation of the security structure within a business organization is the executives and leaders' attitudes and perceptions. Are they viewing security as a cost center, or are they viewing security as an enabling department and function? If they are seeing it as a cost center, unfortunately, they may not value the department enough to invest in its security budget. If they are viewing it as an enabling function, then they will support and influence mitigation of ideal security systems, the other factor is the competencies and the capabilities of the security professionals that are heading the security departments. All right? Do they understand what it entails to have a good security practice or standard? Do they understand the application of good security management practices? All right? Are they well qualified? Do they have the right competencies? All right? So that also influences the type of security structure that you can find in some business organizations. All right? Now, you will agree with me that in all these three security structures, one thing is common with all three. All right? They take a narrow focus towards threats. This means that they take very minimal effort to understand the target threats and the adversaries. They're not putting a lot of effort into understanding the type of threats that could be targeted to a business organization. Neither are they looking into understanding the adversaries that could actually be targeting some of the most attractive and critical assets within their business organizations, all right? And what happens when you're not taking time to understand properly the threat action? What happens? All right? Your organization remains unprepared and it remains exposed. All right? And this is where security risk management program comes in. All right? Because this structure, okay, adopts a proactive approach. It is all about preparing ahead. It is all about understanding the target threats. It is all about understanding the critical assets within a business organization. It is all about understanding the impact. Should these critical assets be interfered with, or should they be lost or stolen? Should they be compromised? It's about understanding the level of impact that could have within the organization, how that affects the organization goals, all right? So it is also, again, about understanding the target threats and also understanding in all these risks, which ones take priority, which ones would have high priority and warrant the organization to prioritize them in mitigation. Okay, that is what the security risk management program is all about. And the beauty of it is that it also entails a holistic approach whereby it involves everybody. All right, it integrates all the critical business processes and activities within a business organization. It doesn't leave out critical business functions. It integrates and includes all the critical stakeholders within an organization, whether they're internal or external, okay? And what organizations can do is to build onto their existing security structures, all right? They can build onto what is already in place, all right? And transform their security department and give more value to the security function, all right? By adopting a security risk management program, all right? Now, I want us to go through a PowerPoint presentation that I have prepared for you, all right? And I'm hoping by the time we are done discussing it, you'll have a better understanding of the security risk management program structure and its application. Let's get started by defining what security risk management program is. Now, the SRMP is a security structure that takes the form of an overall program that aims to function across the whole organization, incorporating various action plans to assist an organization effectively prepare ahead against potential threats. All right. Now, I have underlined the whole organization because this is very important for us to understand, all right? The thing with the security risk management program is that it is holistic. It breaks down silos. Instead of the security department working alone in this, it works together and in collaboration with other business functions within an organization. So it is incorporating the whole organization, all right? It is incorporating the organization critical business functions, and under those business functions, the critical activities and processes that require security considerations, all right? And also integrates all employees, all relevant stakeholders within the organization and outside the organization, all right? And that's the beauty of it, all right? Now, it is very likely that if your business organization is utilizing the security structures that we have highlighted there before, that is the package security structure, the one-dimensional structure, and the reactive structure, it is highly likely that your security department works in isolation. It works alone as far as handling security threats is concerned. It is very siloed. It works in isolation, all right? But if your organization is using a security risk management program structure, then it is likely that it is working together with other business functions within the organization. It is also working together with other stakeholders that are not working in the security department, okay? But as long as they are key towards security management, then they're included in the program, right? This is actually one of the characteristics that makes the security risk management program structure stand out from the other security structures that we know of, all right? That seem to be very much traditional security management based, all right? Now, two, in helping us understand better SRMP is the SRMP goal. The main purpose of the SRMP is to develop and execute a formal plan to address and mitigate identified risks in a way that minimizes their impact on an organization's goals, okay? The thing is, every SRMP, every security risk management program has to have a formal plan, all right? And that's the beauty of it. It has to be structured. It has to be systematic. It has to be done in an organized manner. So there has to be a formal plan underneath it, all right? This means that the number one thing that we need to do when we are formulating this program is to articulate a clear policy that defines the purpose and the goal of the program. What is the security risk management program going to do for the organization? What is its intention? Okay, having a clear policy that is well defined and articulated, all right, is the first step towards giving the direction of the security risk management program moving forward for any business organization adopting the SRMP, all right? On point 3, we need to understand the security risk management program activities. What are the core activities? All right. The SRMP activities include the design of the security management framework, which provides guidance of how the SRMP will be directed, the systems that will be included within it, and its execution. The security risk assessment process, the SRA, is a distinct activity under the security risk management framework. Now, we need to get this right because this is where a lot of professionals are missing the mark, all right? They're missing the mark. They're slightly missing the mark here, all right? There's this misconception that security risk management is all about security risk assessment, okay? if you want to do a security risk assessment as the first thing, without taking other things that take precedent in consideration, all right, it is highly likely that the strategies that you're going to be developing after you do your SRA are not going to be effectively mitigated. You're not going to have a lot of support in that, okay? Because there are so many phases that you skipped out on. The phases that are supposed to make the whole program effective, all right? So we need to understand that security risk management is not about security risk assessment. There is more to it. Yes, security risk assessment is a critical component of the SRM, okay? But before we get to that critical component, there are a lot of things that need to be considered. There are a lot of things that need to be factored in so that the SRA can have value, so that the quality of what we are inputting in the SRA can influence the quality of what is coming out in the output. All right? Now, when we talk of the security risk management framework, basically we are talking of, in this program that we are developing, in this security risk management program that we are developing, okay, what is the architecture within the program, okay? What is the backbone? What is the skeleton of the program? What are the areas that are going to be within it, okay? And under the security risk management framework, there are three critical aspects underneath the security risk management framework, okay? We have the direction, we have the systems, and we have the execution. Now, the security risk assessment falls under the direction. It falls under the direction, okay? And there are other things as well that fall under the direction, okay? Now, stick around as we unpack on this sequel discussion, because we are going to have another video discussion where we are going to unpack security risk management framework, and we'll have a better understanding. You'll have a better understanding. But for purposes of understanding what security risk management program is all about, you need to understand that the security risk management framework is a critical component underneath it. And it makes the architecture, it formulates the backbone of the security risk management program, okay? And you need to understand, you need to properly assimilate what that is about, okay? So it is another very important activity, okay? Designing the security risk management framework is a very important activity under the security risk management program, all right? And the security risk assessment is a critical component as well, but very distinctive, still under the security risk management program. You need to understand where it falls under when we talk of the security risk management framework. Don't get confused. By the end of this discussion sequel, you will be able to understand and distinguish between all the three so that you can be able to see how you can design your own organization's security risk management program, okay? Moving on, point 4, the security risk management output, okay? In simple terms, what is the expected end result, or what should be the expected end result of the security risk management program? What should we hope to get at the other side of it when we are finalizing on its execution, okay? Now, the output of SRMP is a set of risk treatment plans or actions that outline how risks will be managed or mitigated. It involves implementing controls and measures to address risks effectively to an acceptable level across the whole organization, while ensuring the process achieves continuous review and improvement. I have highlighted continuous review and improvement, because when you develop the security risk management program, all right, it is not a one-off project. You don't just do it once and that's it. Okay, the goal here is to set it up and have it going, all right? And you've got to make sure that the continuous review and improvement of whatever mitigation action plans you have proposed or implemented is ongoing. It doesn't stop. It is ongoing, all right? This means that every business organization security risk management program, all right, is supposed to be iterative. It is supposed to be ongoing and ongoing, all right? And while it is ongoing, it is supposed to be based on updated and accurate information. This means it's supposed to be very data-driven, all right? You should be able to see what are the better mitigations and upcoming concepts that are coming that you can incorporate in your already existing security risk management program, in your already existing mitigations and treatment plans. Are there better plans that you can adapt and you can update, so that you can make sure that the security risk management program remains relevant and up to date, because it's got to remain relevant. It's got to be updated at all times, all right? Assuming you develop a security risk management program today, I want to believe that 5 years down the line or 10 years down the line, there's a lot that is going to change. There's a lot that is going to change. Some of the treatment plans that you have implemented already to mitigate against certain threats are going to change. Now, I'll give an example. If your security risk management program incorporates the School of Information Security or Cybersecurity, all right, the measures that you put in place today to protect your organization against cyber insecurities and threats, okay, I want to believe that the software systems that you put in place, within 5 years' time, they will have evolved and improved, probably because of the AI technology and advancements. They are going to be even much better, okay? So you're not going to be stuck in what you have already, you started off implementing. You're going to be moving with time because, again, remember, it is not just the plans, the treatment plans and mitigations are supposed to be evolving and changing. Even the threats are also evolving. The adversaries are changing tactics and strategies. So you need to make sure that the treatment plans you have in place, okay, have efficacy moving forward. They can always stand the test of time. They can be able to mitigate against the threats that are evolving out there, all right? So it is very important for you to make sure that part of the output, after you have established the ideal treatment plans and you have executed, part of the output is to make sure that the program continues to be reviewed and it continues to improve. There should be remarkable improvement moving forward. So it's not a one-off project that we are doing. It is not one-off. It is going to be interactive. It's going to be ongoing and ongoing, all right? And the fifth point of alignment, the security risk management program should be aligned to the organization goals and objectives and should be proportionate to an organization context. This is very important because remember, every organization is different, all right? It's different, okay? Even if you're in the same industry, when it comes down to how you're running your business internally, it's bound to be different one way or another, all right? So different organizations, different context, okay? So when you're developing your security risk management program, you've got to make sure that it aligns with your organization. It's proportionate to your organization. It's proportionate to organization's nature of business. It is proportionate to your organization culture, all right? It is proportionate to organization financial capabilities, all right? It is proportionate to your organization environment of operation. All right. So it has to be tailor-made to suit your organization. You can't just pick a program from one organization and implement it in your organization. No. You can only develop a plan or a program that suits your organization. So it's got to be very specific based. It's got to be very target based to the specific organization that it is being developed for. All right. Because remember, again, the target threats are also different for any business organization. All right. Some threats are target to other business organizations. Some are not to other business organizations. So again, you've got to make sure that that alignment is achieved. And again, when it comes to organization goals and objectives, I want to again talk about strategic alignment. Okay. When you're developing the security management program, it's very important for you to make sure that right from the onset, when you're developing a policy for the program, you make sure that the policy aligns with your overall organizational goals and objectives. The two are going hand in hand. That way, the SRMP program is an enabler. It is enabling the organization meets its core business objectives and goals. It is not stifling the organization by complicating the activities and processes and the projects that it is doing and hindering employees from running their day-to-day activities. No, it is supposed to be enabling the organization move forward and be able to attain its core goals and objectives. Let's look at some of the benefits of having a security risk management structure for organizations. One of the benefits is that it maximizes on the value and the performance. Okay, this is because, all right, when you're looking at the treatment plans, or rather when you're looking at the strategies that you want to implement, all right, we are not just looking at the negatives here. We are also looking at how we can take advantage of some of the risks, because some risks have opportunistic value. All right. If you're a security professional who can be able to articulate and demonstrate that to your leadership and executive, you're going to be winning in terms of getting support and buy-in. All right. Because when we are looking at some of the risks, all right, some of the risks are here to stay with us. We cannot remove them entirely. Now, for instance, the risk of cybersecurity. Unfortunately, cyber threats are here with us. They're not going anywhere. And as technology evolves and AI advancements evolves and become accessible to everybody, so are the threats. All right. So now we are not talking of how we can reduce or deter. We're not talking of how we can deter those threats. We are talking of how we can build resilience. How can business organizations be able to carry on with business, all right, while facing this sort of cybersecurity challenges, all right, but have a resilience to go on with business without being very much impacted by some of the negative effects of some of the technological advancements that organizations are having and using within the organizations. How do we go about it? How do we go about? So it's more of building resilience. So if you're a professional who can be able to demonstrate the value of some of the mitigation action plans to an organization, all right, and be able to get the maximum value of some of those mitigation action plans, then what you'll be doing is that you'll be maximizing value and performance. And that is what you get when you use a security risk management program structure. Okay? Because it focuses on choosing the right mitigation strategies. Okay? When it comes to the evaluation of the treatment plans, you make sure that you exhaust all the available strategies around. Okay? You make sure that you are consulting and communicating with all the relevant stakeholders so that their perspectives can be included in decision making. All right. Again, you're also making sure that the decision you make is also very much aligned with the business organization's risk appetite. Okay. Are we going to choose this mitigation action plan because our organization has a low risk appetite? You know, they have a low tolerance for certain risks, all right? Or are we going to choose this risk mitigation or treatment plan because our organization has a high risk appetite? Okay, so again, you look at all the program, the security risk management program, the structure helps you to establish and evaluate all these things. So by the time you're making decision that this is the risk mitigation strategy we want to go for or use, okay, you're going to be making sure that there is a lot of value that's coming from it. There's a lot of value that's coming from it. Even the whole, when you look at the cost implication, you know, you're doing your benefit, you're doing your cost benefit analysis, you're doing the objective analysis. And you can be able to make that decisions based on so many factors that you have considered, all right? And that's the beauty of the security risk management. You get a lot of value when you're using this structure to manage threats and risk within your business organization. The other benefit is that it optimizes on resource allocation, okay? This is because resources are prioritized, okay? Instead of just blindly allocating resources to threats that are probably having very low impact towards an organization, or the impact is so insignificant, you know, it's so insignificant. Instead of allocating resources to those sort of risks, the organization prioritizes resources to risks that have been ranked to be priority, all right? Risks that are ranked priority are risks that have high likelihood to occur, all right? And if they occur, they have high impact. The impact is of a high severity level, all right? And again, the controls that you have in place are insufficient. That means the organization has no security measures that are sufficient to mitigate against that sort of risk. So the organization gives it priority. It allocates revenue to mitigate against that risk. So again, you're optimizing resource allocation. So you're not wasting revenue. You're not wasting resource allocations here, all right? The other benefit is that it encourages a risk-aware culture, all right? It promotes an organizational culture that recognizes and understands the importance of incorporating risk analysis into everyday decision-making and processes. Because the program is integral, because the security risk management program is very integral, which means that it integrates all the critical business functions within an organization. It integrates all the critical stakeholders, internal and external. That means that a lot of employees are involved in the process, okay? There is a lot of buy-in, there's a lot of support from the organization to support the program, okay? And in so doing, what is happening is that the security risk awareness culture is being promoted. It is being promoted. And again, because the program has buy-in from senior executive, it has support from senior leadership. Whatever treatment plans you propose and they're executed, they are also going to be executed by senior executive. And we all know that what happens when senior leadership are also adhering to the security measures that have been implemented. They act as role models, all right? And the rest of the organization employees are able to follow their role modeling, all right? So that support and buy-in trickles down, you know, from up, down, and down, up. And it fosters and promotes culture, security risk awareness culture within the organization, right? The other benefit is that there is regulatory compliance, okay? The SRMP ensures adherence and compliance with specific security regulations, building trust with stakeholders and avoiding penalties. Now, when we are doing the security risk assessment process, which we said is a very distinctive and critical activity within the security risk management program, the security risk assessment process is conducted against clear context, okay? You establish the scope, the context, and the criteria before you even start identifying risks, all right? And in context and in establishing the context, all right, there are a lot of things that are looked at, there are a lot of factors that are looked at because they influence how the security risk assessment is going to be done. And they also influence on the treatment plans that are going to be recommended at the end of it, all right? So regulations, the regulatory standards and compliance standards are part of the factors that influence the context, okay? That influences the direction that the SRA is going to take because you want to make sure that there is that conformity. You want to make sure that whatever security measures or mitigations that are going to be implemented, all right, they are regulated, okay? They comply to your business organization standards. Because remember, your organization already exists and it is confined within certain standards as well, depending on your niche and depending on the context again. What is your organization doing? What is your core business? All right? You have those standards that you are abiding by as you do what is it you do best, all right? Now, when you start talking of security, you've got to make sure that whatever mitigations you're going to be executing and whatever treatment plans you're going to be executing, they are executed within your regulations, all right? And they are also executed within the regulations, within the security standard regulations of where you're operating. So you're looking at standards two ways. You're looking at the standards within the security context because you're talking of security measures and mitigations. And you're also looking at standards from your business operational point of view, okay? Now, the other benefit is that there is that continuous improvement of security risk management practices, all right? Because the program is regularly evaluated and it is regularly refined, okay? Like I mentioned before, okay, it is very important for the program, for the SRMP program structure to remain iterative. That means it has to continuously keep going on and keep going on, all right? And when it is going on, it's got to be based on modern and advanced techniques, all right? So the techniques you're using to review and monitor your mitigations, they've got to be updated, all right? And again, they've got to stay relevant, okay? The information you're having and the data you're having, it's got to be up to date and it's got to be relevant, all right? And again, the techniques has to be dynamic. This is what I mean, all right? Don't continue using outdated techniques. Invest in modernized and advanced techniques because as we evolve, as we move, as we progress in the world, so is everything else. Better techniques are coming up, leverage on them so that your techniques can remain updated and relevant, okay? You know, better solutions are coming up, better software is coming up, better security systems are coming up, better ways to train your employees on security are coming up, etc., etc. So leverage on what's coming up, what's relevant, and what is updated. By so doing, you're making sure that the security risk management program structure is always remaining relevant. It is always refined. It stays refined, okay? That's it for this PowerPoint presentation. I hope that you find it valuable. Now, if you're going to require notes, these notes, all right, you can drop me an email and request the same, okay? Now, For purposes of privacy, I don't want you to share your email on the comment section of this video discussion. If you can access my LinkedIn DM, that would be a good place for you to drop that email. Right? In summary, as we wind up, this is the point that I want you to take home from this video discussion that we've had on the subject of security risk management program. This is what I want you to take home, all right? As much as you are a security professional who is probably seasoned and well-skilled in your job, you do a good job, you know what you're doing, and you mostly use your professional judgment to help your organization properly handle the threats that they are facing, okay? It is going to be very important for you to evaluate what sort of structure are you having, what sort of security management structure are you having for your organization. Is it effective? Is it effective? All right. What are some of the incidents you're having? Are they recurring? If they are recurring, then that means there's a problem there, especially if they are recurring at a high rate, all right? If the organization is continuously losing revenue, then something needs to be done about it. You need to re-strategize and reevaluate the security management structure that you're having. And it is time for you to transition your security department and function and take on a security risk management program. And it is ideally very simple for you to make that transformation, because ideally what you need to do is you just need to build onto what you're already doing. You already have a formal mechanism in place. You already have a structure already in place. You just need to build on to it. You need to build onto it. So stick around, because I have lined up some very valuable content for you in discussions moving forward in line with this subject matter of security risk management. Now, by the end of this sequel discussion, I believe that you're going to see security risk management in a different angle, and you will want to propose it for your organization if you are not doing it already, all right? And you are going to start seeing better results in the way that you manage security threats within your organization, better results in regards to how you interact and collaborate with the rest of the business departments and functions within your organization. You're going to have better engagements in regards to how you engage with other employees within your organizations, how you engage external stakeholders within your organizations. You're going to see remarkable improvement moving forward. We've come to the end of this video discussion. Thank you for watching and keeping me company. I hope that you found it insightful and valuable. And I look forward to a next video discussion where we shall be unpacking on a related subject under the subject matter of security risk management. And until then, goodbye for now.